Welcome back, all. I'm your host, Jameson, and this is Quest 64. Last episode, we got on a boat and came over to Pool after wandering the Donderin Flats for a little while. And in this episode, we are going to head to Cull Hazard. I don't think we're going to quite get through it. It's kind of a long dungeon, and we grabbed the blue wings to bring us back. But it's kind of a long dungeon, and we may or may not have time to get through the whole thing. And head over here and actually rest at the inn here. Is this the guy we need to talk to? Yeah. Let's take a room. Yes. 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 Alright. And I'm not sure if this is necessary. We are going to come upstairs here. And there's a woman whose room we just barged into, named Lila? Who knows? Apparently the wind has stopped blowing, and we need to go to the city of Wind, Normoon. And she's actually the water spirit, so... or something or other. But we have to go take care of the rest. She'll take care of this place for now. So, that being done, we're going to head right back out the way we came in. Be back on the road, getting into fights and whatnot. We're just going to go ahead and follow the path for a little while here. Get right back into it, smacking some dudes with Wind Cutter 3. I think actually what we want to do... She fired? Ugh, that didn't do much at all. I think he just missed me with that. That's weird. We're going to hit this guy. Because we can really easily dodge these rocks. So that's definitely not an issue. So we want to take care of the more dangerous enemy first, which is the guy that can actually damage us. But that was simple enough. Do a little healing. Looks like that last point in water got us up to 5. So, things are looking pretty good for us. Looks like wind is doing almost nothing here. Let's drop a level 2 rock on these guys. That's not bad, but I think we're better off hitting things with our staff than anything else at this point. Yeah, they hit pretty hard. Apparently we're close enough to take all... Ugh. Oh boy. Well, this could get rough in a hurry. Alright, let's just go for it. Whoa! Man, if we'd missed there, probably would have been dead. But, it would only have taken us as far back as Pool, which is nothing. So it's not really worth using an item. We are going to go ahead and just use pretty much all our MP healing ourselves. But if you see, we've got a little bridge right up here. Of course. And these guys are not at all worth actually fighting. So throw a wind cutter on our way out. Still managed to kill 2 out of 3. We check our map. Looks like we may have already missed our turn to go to Cull Hazard. So, it was a good work on my part. get all healed up. We'll use this bridge for its obvious intended purpose, which is to regain our MP. Did I really miss the turn? Check that again. Yeah, definitely want to go over to the west there. How's my MP look? Still not full. Hooray, running in circles. Yeah, go ahead and give it to this guy. Got me anyway. I'm probably moving a little too early. Oh, there's my turn, I believe. Yep, I definitely want to go this way. Do I want to go this way? There's no path over there. Yep, it's this way. There's just no path. I guess I was expecting a path. Oh, why am I moving that way? Definitely want to be... got me anyway. Closer to these guys, because these guys are pretty good for, I don't know, I guess leveling, if you want to call it that, in this area. You get close to them, they can't hit you. Essentially free experience. But I'm doing my best to avoid doing too much, I don't know, power leveling, I guess, training, grinding. Because it's dull, so I'm not going to subject anyone to that. If I want to do it, I'll make an extra separate video. Definitely not going to bother with these guys. I still think it's a little silly how they show up here. Just being way out in the middle of nowhere and way past their expiration date when it comes to difficulty. Half-decent shot. We're actually going to go ahead and get right into melee with these guys. Ooh, you know what? Ugh, that's not as good as I was hoping it would be. Let's try again. Yeah, good enough. And he's standing close enough for us to just hit him with our staff. And let's go with rock. Just go back and forth until we get up to 12. What was I doing? Was I putting points into the rock? I don't remember. It's been a little while since I did one of these videos, so... Oh no, 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 thank you. I don't remember if it's these guys, but I think they can... Yep, these guys can cast Avalanche. We want absolutely zero part of that. Come on. Am I on the right way? No, I definitely want to go south. The screen would work with me just a little bit. It's like half the fun of playing the game is fighting with your camera angles. Hey, look at that. We've already gained 2 MP points since we started running around here. Such is the power of the Wind Cutter level 3 spell. And yay, there's a cottage here. And if we come around this side, that is what we're looking for. Rock. Check out what's inside. There's a woman in a dress here and a pointy hat. Yep. This will take us to Norman. It's quite a hike. Oh, we can rest here. Definitely. If you were playing this on the console, you'd probably end up spending a lot of time in this area. because this area is exceptionally dangerous. Cull Hazard is. And we'll see why in a little bit. But mostly it's just really long. It's really a long dungeon. And there's a few really powerful enemies in it. Namely the wyvern. But fortunately, other than that, it also has a ton of covered hallways that do not spawn encounters. So, like bridges, it's really easy, at least in the beginning parts of the game, to find places where enemies cannot hit you, can't attack you, so you can pretty easily heal up and be good to go. And usually when I find that my HP drops in a fight so far that it requires that much healing, I would stop and gain some defense and some extra HP and whatnot. And actually this particular enemy right here, the Skelebats, are really good for that because they have a basically 0 animation wind cutter spell. And because, oh good gracious, another one immediately. And luckily we have Fireball 3, which makes pretty short work of them, assuming it doesn't miss. Well, this is dangerous. We're gonna go ahead and hit him. Oh boy, no we're not. You know what? We're pretty close to a save point, so we'll see what happens if we... Oh boy, we won. Just gonna show you guys what happens if you lose. Guess not today. Luck's on our side more than once. So let's try to make it to this covered walkway, and there we go. We're safe. So, actually, that being said, I'll show you if you'd really like to sit down and level up. This is a good place for defense. I'll show you why in a moment. First, we got to get through all this healing. And we got to regain some MP because we definitely don't want to lose a fight. At least not right now. And I may end up, depending on how, you know, this first maybe half of the dungeon goes, I may stop and get my stats up a little bit. But what I like to do if I'm gonna level up here is I'll weaken the enemy a little bit, place myself slightly away, and then you can just mash your confirm button, A or Z or whatever you're using, and he'll fire off, you know, his wind cutters at a tremendous pace, and then you can immediately turn around, get into your covered walkway, heal up, and do it all over again. So they just have essentially no animation to casting their wind cutter level 2, because they hit 3 times. So the wind cutter level 2. So it allows you to just mash your confirm button, they'll fire off all their shots, and you can gain HP and defense this way both. And since they are a wind element, you can fire off wind cutter level 3 if you want to build up some MP as well. And if you're working on MP using wind cutter 3, you can also work on agility by getting as far away as possible, but that's gonna slow down your plans just a little bit. You can also very easily kill them by staying at, you know, a little bit of range, and they won't all hit you dead on. Let's do 2 of them. That won't kill him. Great. It looks like they do about 15 a round. So, there we go. We gave ourselves a little buffer in case things missed a lot or whatever. So there you go. That's a little training spot. And if, like me, you prefer to emulate the game rather than play it on a console, this is a great spot because you can, obviously save anywhere. But if you're on a console, it's not too bad because there's always the inn right outside. And the quickest way is to go ahead and let yourself be killed in a fight. Because then that takes you back to the inn. You can save, rest, and come right back in. This game is very lenient about deaths because it just sends you back to the inn. Death is not. It's barely a deterrent because you come back and you're actually stronger than before because you by being hit and killed you will have actually gained some HP and defense. So alright, no encounters there. I'm not sure if they can spawn or not, but we'll keep running. Yeah, there's some more skelebats. Boom, got all 3 of them. Took care of him in a hurry. And if you're not using fire spells at this point in the game, your best bet is probably just to hit them with your staff. Unfortunately, they're fairly agile, so you'll miss a bit. That lined up a little better. Boom. Yep, it looks like fire takes them down pretty well, but being a wind-based creature, that is obviously not surprising. I guess, not necessarily. For whatever reason, I always think fire trumps wind, but I believe it's earth. So that, maybe rock spells do quite a bit to them, but I find in general that multi-target spells are the way to go. We'll try rock too. 26. So, not bad. So I guess fire being neutral is still pretty good then. Because at the very least it's not doing weak damage. Get right up in his face. Apparently we just missed everything there. We'll try a staff. There we go. Hey. Water. 6 yet? Nope. Still only healing for 5. Save a little MP. Now there's in some of these longer, more difficult dungeon type areas, or even outside, it's kind of a delicate balance to make sure you have enough MP to get through the next fight and enough HP. So you kind of want to make sure if you have no MP, you're not going to be able to fight because in general things are going to hit you a lot harder than you hit them, unless you've trained, gotten your defense and whatnot up. I'm going to refill our MP before we go out there. Oh, come on. Yeah, things are going to hit you harder than you hit them, and there's, an infinite number of them and only one of you, so. Alright, looks like we've come to the next area in Cull Hazard. Let's see if we can, from where we're standing, check out if there's anything. Doesn't look like anything over there. And here is the infamous wyvern. Oh, apparently he missed. That does next to no damage to him. He's apparently just missing me. So 25. Let's see. He'll probably hit me now. Yep. And that right there is why we don't fight him. Because 26 is a lot of damage when you only have 90 HP. Because that's 10 MP to get us back just close to full. Now, looks like that's the end of that. So let's go back this way. There's actually another enemy in this area that's just as good, if not better, for gaining defense and HP. And it's actually that guy right in the middle. It's called a blood gel. Let's see what happens if I just don't move. Oh, they don't take any damage from wind. They're probably wind element, which in hindsight should be honest. So let's see. See if I can drop a rock on multiple guys. Hey, I got 2 of them. He took 9. And that's why you can do pretty well against the blood gels as well. They hit you actually more times than the what do you want to call it? The skelebats. Unfortunately, they're a lot deeper in. So if you were trying to actually get through here or train later in the dungeon, you know, you go back a lot further that way. Let's do a watercolor. Wow, these guys just have Yowza. Let's try to get out of here. This fight is going really poorly. Oh boy. Well, folks, maybe you will see a death today. I think it's the blood gel's turn. It is. Ooh, and we escape. Just barely. Let's go ahead and heal ourselves. Yeah, as you can see, I'm probably under-leveled for the current area. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll just keep pushing on. There we went ahead and ran ourselves out of MP completely. That is not a fight we want to take. So just heal ourselves and run at the same time. And like a lot of the multi-hit spells, the closer you get to someone, the more often they hit you. So we definitely don't want to go in with our staff attack and just hope for the best. That's essentially a death sentence, but we'll get hit quite a bit throughout this area, and you know, maybe that'll be enough to build up our defense and HP. Excuse me. But let's do that. There we go. Got a little better efficiency on our MP to healing ratio. Got a healing potion. Let's head not that way, this way. It looks like that area. Oh, I bet is there going to be a spirit? Oh, just want to see if there was a spirit over there. Now I'm getting thrashed by a wyvern. Oh, here's one. Okay. We're actually doing quite a bit better on our HP and MP at this point. Running from a couple of fights helped out. Goodness, those guys hit really hard. Let's go this way. Let's try out Rolling Rock. Ah, whiff. Looks like just a little bit in front of us. And flings a rock out. We'll just go ahead and drop some Wind Cutter 3 on them as we make a tactical maneuver. And this is the way we wanted to go, I think. I don't know. It's one of those things about running from fights. Gets you all turned around. Unfortunate side effect of being a coward, but a living coward. almost out of here. There we go. Not out of this area. This area is quite large, but almost out of this particular fight. Man. At least that one put us close to the edge. And I have not been paying enough attention to my compass. So hopefully I didn't just go in a big circle. So right now we're heading northeast-ish. There we go. Now we've got a little bit of a guide, that water. We've also got full MP, but not full HP. So let's turn the way we actually want to go. Get our HP back up to reasonable levels. There we go. Just keep trudging along. Nothing in that little corner there. See a treasure chest right over that way. How much our staff does now? 60. Pretty good shot. Hey, we got that one. Let's throw on spear armor. Give ourselves a defense up. We'll try to get in the middle of these guys and see if we can't use something. I don't know. We'll try Wind Cutter at really close range. There we go. He's going to get us back pretty good. Yep. Wow. Eating attacks left and right. There we go. Alright. I don't think we can actually out-heal the incoming damage by any significant amount. Let's do that. Get our defense back up. Ouch. Maybe this will do it? Nope. Oh man, I really don't want to go down in this place. So, do we have a 50 HP? Do we have a fresh bread way back here? We do. We can go ahead and pop that. So we almost certainly did what, 10? It was pretty likely that we go down in this fight. So, we'll say it was worth it. It's also very likely that I should spend some time working on my defense and whatnot. Because that one single fight pretty much took it all out of me. And I had to use an item. So we'll spend quite a bit of time recovering from that one. Now, what did it do? Put us, what, dead center? Ouch. This one is not going to go well either. Well, at least that guy was the only one that was close up. So you can see if you did want to raise your defense against the blood gels here, if you got right up in their face, they'd hit you, a few more times than the Skelebats would, but they do their whole dance around move before they cast their spell, so it's a matter of, preference, I think, at that point. and it seems like the blood gels are almost never alone, which means that before you do anything, you gotta make sure they aren't, you know, in a pack of guys. And by the time you get them alone, you're gonna have taken a whole bunch of damage. So I don't know. That's, you know, for my money, I'll take a Skelebat over blood gels. And here is the one and only chance I might have had at killing a wyvern. As I mentioned before, since they take turns, taking their turns, they only get one turn at a time, enemies do. You can end up making sure the wyvern only gets a turn once out of every 3, and you have a chance of killing him. Unfortunately, it's not particularly worth it. He's not worth, you know, an element every time you kill him or whatever. He's just a pretty standard enemy, just much more difficult. Ah, you're gonna make me run away from my chest, aren't you? I think we've gained almost 10 HP since we got in here. A lot of enemies hitting us multiple times. It's good for that. I haven't really checked my agility or defense in the recent past, so couldn't tell you what we're sitting at there. We'll check it out. 22 defense, 27 agility. Oh, goodness. Well, it looks like we may end up using another healing item, since this wyvern caught us essentially in the corner. But oddly enough, he's just missing us. It's not even like a miss. It's just not even making contact with us at all. It's really unusual. Can I just hit him? Nope, he got me back. He's using a different ability now, it seems like. It sounds different anyway. It's really odd. Stop trying to turn my screen, game. Got a couple more chests right up here. We're definitely going to get into. Hey, there's another HP. Oh, another MP recently. This fight's gonna take way too long if I go that way. I'm gonna have to come back this way. I actually can't get to the edge. Yep, so if you didn't believe me that this is a difficult area before we started, I hope you do now. Oh my goodness. Hey, we can take 2. We'll just give them a whole bunch of wind cutters. Well, by a whole bunch, I mean 2 more, and then I gotta go into melee. Hopefully this next one will take care of one more, or one of the 2. Hey. And can we actually hit it from here? We cannot. So yep. I don't want to use the level 2 version. I'd rather use the level 3 if just hitting the guy doesn't work out. Which actually our staff attack is pretty powerful. I should make more use of it, but as I said before, it's based on the difference between your highest and lowest elements. So, and normally what I like to do is just get the healing spell out of water and then immediately max out. Let's not do that. Let's go. And then immediately max out one element. So, this is and good gracious, wyverns everywhere. A little more unusual playthrough for me. It looks like we may get through the whole thing, but we're gonna run a little long. they don't give you maps for the dungeons. They'll give you a map for kind of like the world at large, but no dungeon maps. I mean, I'm sure you can find them somewhere, but most of the dungeons aren't too twisty-turny that you can't figure them out. I mean, it can get a little frustrating if you have so many encounters that, you know, you get turned around, and then that causes more encounters as you try to figure out where you're going, and, you know, standard stuff. That doesn't put me out, apparently. Actually good. Anything over there? Nope. Here we go. I think we're on the home stretch. Getting out of this place. Yep, here we go. So if you did want to go back and get your stats up some, this is the last opportunity. Which I may have another video where I hang out in Cull Hazard and get beat up by skelebats for a little while. But I don't know. We'll see how things go. I mean, if I absolutely have to, I've got the blue wings, and that'll take me back to Larapool, which isn't too far from Cull Hazard. But you know, I don't know. In normal playthrough, I'd probably take some time in there, you know, just cause, but it's a little more fun when the enemies are more challenging, even if it does mean I spend a lot of my battles just running away, running scared for my life. Are we there yet? Oh, here's some fights. Let's see. What does fire do to that? Probably. Oh, it does pretty good. I expected it to be bad because that spell they're using, homing arrow, is a fire-based spell. Looks like it doesn't take too much to knock one of these guys out. Couple of staff hits. Two to three wind cutter level 3s. Well, it looks like at least 3. Another MP. That'll do it. Fantastic. Hey, another element. Let's go with water. Still healing for 6, but hey, it's better than the 4 we were working with earlier. What that'll do for now. I don't think there's much left, but I've said that a couple of times now, and it just keeps going. Are we there yet? Is this the end? And still no. Gonna make us walk up and down this windy, long tunnel with no encounters for who knows what reason. Ambiance, immersion, apparently. So we just keep going and going. Hey, that looks like an exit to me. Fantastic. If we check our map, it looks like we are at Normoon. So, that'll do for now. In the next episode, we will head into Normoon and figure out where we're heading to next. Thanks for joining me in this long episode. Have a good one.